So 3 weeks ago, I took the final exam for my history summer course, and after I finished the test, I decided to take a walk around my college campus to decompress and enjoy my newfound freedom. As I strolled down the hallways, I noticed a cute girl sitting on a bench scrolling on her phone, and I saw an ISO opportunity. Alright, Rowdy, think of an excuse to go and talk to her. Got it. As I approached her, she looked up from her phone. Hey, do you know how transfer credits work? I go to a different university and I'm wondering who I should talk to about that. Now this was a real question. I had no clue how to transfer my credits from the community college to my university, but really I just needed to get her yapping about something. Oh, that's cool. I go to a different university as well. Jackpot. I said, oh really, you're from around here? I study at UTD. She said, well, I'm from Frisco, but I go to OU. We start yapping about our respective colleges and our eventual career goals, and after about 2 minutes, the conversation came to a natural end and we both went silent, and I realized it was time to make a move. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care about transfer credits. The only reason I came over here is because I thought you were cute, so can I get your number? And she was like, oh yeah, absolutely. I go back to Oklahoma in 2 weeks, but we should definitely hang out before then. So I get her number, say goodbye, turn the corner of the hallway, and immediately start pumping my fist like my 12-leg parlay just hit. I mean, you know the feeling you get whenever you get a girl's number. I was hype, bro. At that moment, some African dude just walked by me, like he literally looked just like Didier Drogba, and I just needed to dap someone up. So I dapped him up, and he's like, what is the meaning of this? What are you doing? And I was like, bro, I just got the cutest girl's number, bro. And he's like, oh, okay, I understand. Congratulations, brother. So I start planning the date, and I'm thinking about doing something in Frisco, but I genuinely have no clue what to do there other than go to Stonebriar Mall. I ask around, and someone told me I should take her to Clyde Warren Park in downtown Dallas. And that actually was a pretty good idea, but I hadn't been there since I was a little kid, so I still had no clue what to do in that vicinity, but I figured I'd just figure it out as I went. So I text her the plan, she's down with it, and then I head to the park. Once I get there, the first thing I realize is that parking in downtown Dallas is a nightmare. I figured there'd be a parking lot near the park, but instead there was just empty parking garages like half a mile from the park in every direction. I was straight up driving for half an hour trying to find a good spot, but eventually I just got fed up and put my car in some random garage, and the parking cost like $20 for the night. I was getting fleeced out there. I start walking from the garage to the park where we were supposed to meet, and I immediately realized I was way too overdressed for this weather. I was wearing this super thick t-shirt and sweatpants. I was out there sweating, bro. Eventually I make it to the park and she reaches around the same time and we do the first date side hug. Then she tells me that she also had to park in some random garage like 20 minutes away. So basically we're both super hot right now. I didn't really know any restaurants in that vicinity, so I was just like, are you hungry? She was like, yeah, I could eat. I know this really good Italian restaurant by here, Little Italia. I was like, bet, let's go. So we start walking over there, and remember, it's still like 90 degrees outside. And on the walk, we have some basic small talk like what music we listen to, what classes we're taking for the upcoming semester, what extracurriculars we're in. It was a chill vibe, it was going well, and eventually we reached the restaurant, and it looked like a nice place. I just remembered the girl at the front desk was reading a Bridgerton book. I thought that was a show or something, and she was like, no, it was a book first, and the books are way better. That has absolutely nothing to do with the greater narrative of this story, but now you know it, so have fun with that information. Eventually we get seated and she orders a pasta and I order a pizza, and we keep talking, but we really couldn't seem to get past small talk. Like most of our discussion revolved around our college life and like what concerts we've been to, which is like fine conversation, but it falls flat after a while, you know? But as we eat, we start breaking out of our shells and opening up more, and she tells me that she's really into romantic comedies, like she's really into this movie 27 Dresses, and I'm into movies as well, but like more of the Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola kind. So I didn't really understand any of her movie references, and she didn't really understand any of mine. And she was more tuned into social media culture than me. Like she was explaining what Labubus were, and she was telling me about Gigi Hadid pasta. I was like, this is fascinating information. So we finish eating, and I realized that it's go time, bro. Like time to get serious, no more Labubu talk. So I get on my phone and I Google scenic spots in the area where I can make a move, and the only thing I could find was this place called the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge. I was thinking, ooh, that works. I was imagining taking her to the top of that bridge overlooking the lake at night and hitting her with that Sokka Princess Yue 1-2 special. As we leave the restaurant, she starts putting on lip gloss, and in hindsight, I'm realizing I'm the CEO of not picking up on signs. Like, she don't care about a bridge, bro. She's waiting for you to kiss her right now. But my head ass was like, you trying to go to this bridge? I hear it's really nice. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. The plan was we walk to my car, then I drive her to her car, and then we meet at the bridge. But then I realized I have no clue where I parked my car. All of these parking garages look the exact same, and I don't remember the location at all. I was trying to play it off because I didn't want to tell her that I lost my car, so I was covertly checking my car location app, but that wasn't loading, so I just picked a direction and prayed it was the right one. And remember, it's still like 90 degrees outside, so we're out here sweating bullets, and I'm checking every garage we're walking by to see if it's the right one, and it's miss after miss. I just remember she kept putting on lip gloss during that walk, while my ass was out here looking for my car. I was clearly focused on the wrong mission at that moment. After about 20 minutes of walking, we finally stumble upon the garage with my car in it. We hop in, and now it's time to find her car, because she didn't really remember where hers was either. So it took another 20 minutes of driving around to find her garage, and I thought that I should walk her to her car, so I parked mine in the back of a loading dock of a restaurant that was right by her garage. We hop out of my car, and she can't remember what floor she parked on. So we walk up like 4 floors, get to the top, and then she says, oh wait, I think I actually parked on the basement floor. So then we take the elevator down to the basement, hop in her car, drive back to where my car was supposed to be, and when we get there, the back of the loading dock is closed. Yo, what? I'm low-key tweaking, thinking I got towed or something, and my car phone app still wasn't loading its location. The girl is like awkwardly sitting in her car, and I was telling her, let me figure this out. I'll be back in a minute. There was a valet standing across the street, and I ran over to him and told him, bro, my car was in that loading dock and someone closed it. Do you know how I can get to it? And he was like, dude, you need to talk to the security manager of the building. So I run around the building to the security office and I start knocking on the door. I look inside the window and nobody's in there. I was knocking on that door and waiting there for a solid 10 minutes before the security guard came to the door. I told him that I parked my car in that loading dock because I needed to walk this girl to her car and it's closed. Can you please open it for me? And he was like, yeah, I got you. So I run around the building back to where my car was supposed to be, and sure enough, the garage is open and my car is there, and I breathe the biggest sigh of relief of my life. Then I turn to the girl and say, you still down to go to the bridge? And she was like, yeah, sure. So I hop in my car and start driving to the bridge, and of course I miss an exit, and because Texas highways make no sense, that added an extra 10 minutes to my drive. But eventually I get there and she's waiting for me, and we walk up to the bridge, but when we get to it, there's a security guard waiting for us, and she tells us, the bridge is closed for the day. I'm sorry, you can't come in here. At this point, I just start laughing to myself because everything that could go wrong is going wrong right now. We walk back to our cars discouraged, and at this point, I'm thinking, might as well pull it from half court. So I turn to her, look at her in her eyes, and say, you want to make out in my car? And she was like, I've been waiting for you to ask me. So we did, and that's how you survive an awkward first date. We eventually went on a second date, but that's a story for another video. Also, make sure that you're following my Instagram. I'm posting there very soon.